Until recently, I found myself asking, what is the key to happiness? Ironically, the harder I tried to reach happiness, the further from it I became. That's until I found the 6 keys to happiness that I'm going to talk about in this video.
I've often said that I wish people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Mahin and I'm a physiotherapist working in pain management based in the UK. On this channel we explore lifestyle strategies and tools similar to what I use with my patients to live healthier and happier lives. Today I'm going to take you through the 6 lessons that I learned on the way to living a happy and purposeful life so that you can find direction in your life in the same way that I did. Happiness is a journey and not a destination, therefore the following points do not focus on external gains but rather what we can work on internally. So let's get into it. We currently live in a world of distraction. These distractions, amongst the 70,000 thoughts that we have daily, leave little space for us to be present in the moment. This can lead to our minds being in a state of constant time travel, whether that's contemplating and thinking about things that have happened in the past, or worrying about things that might happen in the future. This can not only have a detrimental effect on our mental health because of the frantic work that our brains are doing all the time, but it can also reduce our stillness. And without stillness, we can't enjoy the present moment, and if we can't enjoy the present moment, we're likely to be less happy. However, there are a couple of ways that we can promote stillness and practice mindfulness. One way is by reducing our use of technology and limiting anything that demands our attention unnecessarily. This can be done by having phone-free time, such as first thing in the morning or the last hour before bed, so that we're able to engage more with our environment and those people around us without being a slave to the constant notifications of social media. Another way to promote stillness is by having regular resets throughout the day. And this might be consciously tapping into our senses and our environment around us by formally practicing mindfulness, such as breathing exercises, or this might be done informally, such as when you're on a walk, taking in your environment around you, or even when you're brushing your teeth. To find a place for mindfulness in your day, you can set an alarm that goes off at the same time every day, which prompts you to take that reset as you need it. You might also want to tie the mindfulness exercise with a reoccurring task that you're already doing or a habit that's already formed, such as brushing your teeth, as I mentioned. Now, the important thing is to be really aware of what's going on when you're brushing your teeth. So being aware of the toothbrush in your mouth, the taste of the toothpaste, and not allowing your mind to whir out of control with all of the thoughts that are going on inside it. If I'm completely honest, out of the 6 points that we're going to go through today, I find being mindful the hardest out of all of them. And that's because our attention is constantly being demanded from all of the stimuli that we have in this modern world. Happiness is not permanent. We go through moments and periods of happiness in our lives. Mark Manson, in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, talks about how we all have problems. Some people have problems that are bigger than others, but we all have problems and we can't escape these problems in our lives. And trying to achieve a life without any problems is counterproductive because we're trying to achieve something that's idealistic and unobtainable. Therefore, we must accept that our life will have problems and choose which problems to care about and which problems to let go. We have 2 choices in life when we're faced with a situation that we're not happy with. We can either change it or we can accept it. And that's it, those are the only 2 options. To complain about something that's within our control to change only leads to negativity and unhappiness. By taking charge of those things within our control and accepting those that are outside of our control can go a long way to finding happiness. I've done a previous video on control and acceptance and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Now when I'm faced with a situation I'm not happy with, I find that I ask myself one question. And that question is this situation within my control? If the answer is yes, then I absolutely do everything that I can to change it. But if the answer is no, then I know that I must move then towards acceptance. Because the more energy we spend on things that are outside of our control, the less energy we have to spend on things within our control that make us happy and are important to us. At the end of a long day, the default setting of our mind will always focus on the things that did not go so well, rather than the things that did go well. That's why during busy and stressful periods, it's really difficult to look past how long you have left to go. And in those moments, we often forget about how far we've actually come. Practicing gratitude allows us to take a step back from our lives and reflect on those things that we're fortunate to have. And this can be small or big things. It can range from being grateful for a warm bed to sleep in, to having a supportive partner. But noting the things that you are grateful for daily is one of the key steps in finding happiness. I've found that my daily practice of gratitude journaling has not only helped me find happiness, but it's also really helped with my sleep. One of my biggest challenges with sleep is actually my mind racing at night. So gratitude journaling, along with a mindfulness exercise before I go to bed, has been really helpful in helping ground me and clear my mind so that I'm ready for sleep. And my gratitude journaling process isn't a laborious one at all, it's just a couple of sentences at night before I go to bed. The development of self-esteem is probably the hardest out of the 6 points I'm talking about in this video to have an immediate impact on. And that's because there isn't a switch just to turn self-esteem on. There are a few things that we can do to help though, and included in that is determining what our meaning and purpose is in life, and also developing a greater sense of connection with those around us. Along with having a strong sense of community, leading a life of purpose and providing a service to others is seen as one of the most important factors for long-term happiness. And this is because when we're leading a meaningful life in line with our purpose, or our dharma, or our ikigai, then any hardship that we go through, we know is worth it for the greater good. An example of this from my own life is me trying to publish one video a week on YouTube whilst working full-time as a physio, and also trying to maintain some sort of social life and remain active and all of those normal life things. And I found that over the last few months, I've actually been working from 8 AM to 9 PM at night, 6 days a week, only really stopping for lunch. And the long hours that I'm putting in are obviously difficult, but I do know that what I'm trying to do here is try to reach a wider audience to help people improve their health so they can lead the life that they want to lead without their health or their pain being a barrier. And the reason that I've been able to sustain these long hours for the past few months is because it fits in with my purpose. If I was doing these long hours and I was doing something that wasn't fitting in line with my purpose, then I would probably be very unhappy and I would definitely quit. So if you're watching this and you're unsure of what your purpose is, have a think about your desired identity and what you want to stand for. To help with this, I suggest signing up to my free email course on forming healthy habits and achieving your goals. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, so check that out. The course talks about our desired identity and the person that we want to become, and how our values provide our life meaning and direction so that we can get to that identity. As I mentioned, along with living a purposeful life, having a sense of community and fostering deep connections with those people around us are seen as the most important long-term factors for happiness. And we only have to look at some of the world's blue zones where the longest living and happiest people in the world live to see why that is. Places such as Okinawa in Japan have people who live way beyond 100 years old, and their reported secret is their clarity on their ikigai, which is their sense of purpose, and also their strong social network. So if you enjoy an activity or want to live more closely to your purpose, consider joining a group that shares those values. Because if you share the same values as someone, you're more likely to develop a deeper sense of connection with that person. And that goes for friends and life partners as well. And by joining a group, you can fulfill the two major factors of happiness, which is having deep connections with people and living in line with your purpose. So friends, if you enjoyed today's video, you'll love this custom playlist that I've made for you, which has my top personal growth videos in that I've got really good feedback from. So check that out. Take care, and I'll see you next week.